Hello, my name is Justin, and today we're going to plan a trip to Longs Peak. And the first thing I like to do when I do that is check out the weather. It's November, it's the middle of November right now, so the weather is kind of touchy. It also could be a little dangerous to be even up there, so I want to make sure that if I want to go, the weather and conditions are going to allow me to. I did write a blog article post something about this on my website. I'll put that link in the description if you're on YouTube watching this. And we're just going to illustrate all those points I made in that article for a potential trip tomorrow. So let's get started. The first thing I really love to do is check out the Longs Peak webcam. So there's a webcam pointing right at basically the east face of Longs Peak from Twin Sisters or around that area. So we can check that out and get real-time information on what the trail basically looks like. So let's check that out. This is the Longs Peak webcam. And, I try to check this out in the morning or early afternoon, so the sun is pointing generally towards what I'm looking at. If you look at this too late in the afternoon, you're not going to get a really great image. So, okay, I'm looking at Longs Peak right now. Looks, for winter, fairly bare. Let me move my little window around. If you look kind of over here, that's the shoulder of Mount Lady Washington. And I can see snow, but I can also see talus kind of poking through. So I have a good sense that the trail is going to be, definitely I can find the trail, and there's not going to be a lot of snow on the trail. So I'm not thinking snowshoes are going to be, required. If you look over here, kind of move it over here. Over there, that's the beginning of the loft route, actually. And from what I can tell, I'm not seeing a whole lot of snow being accumulated either on the loft or kind of near other aspects of the mountain. So I'm not thinking that, say I want to do the loft route, I'm going to need a lot of flotation there, or even like some major crampons and winter weather gear. So if I wanted to do Longs Peak tomorrow, I'm looking at a fairly dry peak. Just to give you some more information, this right there, let me move this there, right there, that's kind of the start of the cables route, and that also looks pretty dry. Since I've been on the mountain so many times, I know that the cables route also gets icy. So if that was a objective that I wanted to do, I'm going to think that getting to the base of the route is going to be quick, but I'm also going to anticipate ice accumulation in the crux. So that's something to think about, because that can make a really easy climb be much harder. The cables is also used for a descent path, and since there's just so little snow up there, I know that finding the wrap stations to throw a rope down and rappel off, it will be super simple. So so long as I'm not stuck in a snowstorm while trying to find those bolts, they should be relatively easy to find, which is great. So that might be something I want to think about. Maybe I'll descend via the cables, since it looks super snow free and easy to find. And then I don't have to worry about the ice on the route, because I'll be on a rope just descending down on rappel. Okay, that's good. At least the webcam does have like temperature readings and stuff. So it says it's 50 degrees wherever the webcam is. That's super warm. I'm feeling good about that. So let's keep that in mind, but let's keep going. All right, I'm gonna move back to my corner. Great. All right, the next point I have on the article is check the mountain forecast. So mountain-forecast, there it is. So mountain-forecast.com is just a website that tries to interpolate weather point forecasts for different mountains. So you can input the mountain you want and see what they think the weather's going to be. So they do have one for Longs Peak, and it's pretty cool. One of the things I liked about it is it shows point forecasts for different elevations. All this is interpolated, so it's a guess. It's a pretty good guess, and I've had pretty okay results using it, so it's something I can suggest to get a broad idea. It's definitely not, it's not law, or it's not scripture. Okay, I'm just going to refresh the page. Okay, so today's Thursday. Friday is when I want to go. They're saying at the summit, basically, that the wind, that's the first thing I look at, is the wind speed. Longs Peak can be a very windy place. It seems like the jet stream just rests on that the entire winter. So things too windy, you're going to have a hard time even approaching the cruxes that you want to grab. Believe me, I've been there where I have been doing 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, just trying to get to the base of our climb, and we just bailed. I've bailed many times on Longs Peak because it's just too darn windy to get close to it. I've been crawling on my hands and knees going, well, maybe in 15 minutes or 200 yards it'll be fine, and it's just not fine. So that happens. Anticipate that happening. Anyways, Mountain Forecast says that on the summit I should think that there should be 30-mile-per-hour winds. That's pretty high wind speed wise. It's not unrealistic, but it's kind of borderline what I'll deal with, especially in the winter time. And then I look at temperature. So Mountain Forecast at least is seeing that the max temperature is 21 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really cold. For November, that's bone-chillingly cold. So if I wanted to do a summit tomorrow, I want to bring some pretty heavy duty winter clothes. My big puffy rather than my super ultralight puffy I try to get away with. I might think about bringing pants rather than using my running tights. So those are good things to think about. Also think about footwear. I'm not going to bring my summer trail runners, but I do have a great pair of winter trail runners, and I know how to kind of get the most warmth out of those shoes. So I should be okay with just those. Mountain Forecast also shows the temperatures and winds at where it thinks it's going to be at different elevations. So we'll go down here to the left and I'll click on base, which is 8,200 feet. I don't think there's a trailhead in Longs Peak that's 8,200, but I do know the trailhead that I'm going to is at 9,400. So I can take these numbers that they're giving me and maybe just notch them down a couple degrees and notch up the wind a couple miles an hour. Okay, so it's saying that the wind at the base is 20 miles per hour. Again, that's really windy, and actually the East Longs Peak trailhead I'm anticipating going to is an ice box. So they're saying the max temperature is going to be 45 degrees. That's good news. That means if I leave food or water waiting for me at the base, it won't be frozen when I get back and I'm really hungry. So that's good. That also means that any streams along the way while I'm approaching my climb, they're going to be running. Usually the creeks at Longs Peak are running until after tree line. So I will be able to pick up water en route. That's very important to me because I ride my bike to Longs Peak. It's 40 miles and I try to be as light as possible. And one of the ways I do that is I don't bring a lot of water. I bring water only for what I need on my ride, right? So I want to pick up water once I start my hike. Pretty good chance I'll find that water. So great. So that's Mountain Forecast. Now I'll double check Mountain Forecast's forecast with just NOAA, and you go there, just a weather.gov, and I'll put links to all these resources in the YouTube description, as well as just read the article because it goes over this all over again. So let's see what weather.gov says. And they also do point forecasts. And again, they kind of extrapolate it based on elevation and all sorts of things. So Friday, all right, my heart is already sinking because it says Friday, windy, very windy. Okay, let's see what they say for Friday. Mostly sunny, high near 25. Okay, seems to agree with Mountain Forecast. Wind chill values as low as -4. Okay, that's bad. That's not happening for me. That's really cold. Very windy with a west wind 36 to 41 miles an hour. Okay, that's 10 miles, 6 to 11 miles per hour higher than what Mountain Forecast is forecasting. Decreasing to 29 to 34 miles per hour in the afternoon. Good. Winds could gust as high as 55 miles per hour. Okay, 55 miles per hour gusts is bad. It's not a no for me, but it also severely restricts what routes I'm willing to take. So anything that gets technical, I don't want to be at the crux, holding on to some sort of like great hand jam and just be blown away like I'm a flag on a flagpole. So that gives me pause. If anything, any of the information I've looked at so far, that gives me pause. Like that's getting the wind where I can't go forward just hiking on the trail. So good thing to think about. I might look at this forecast in a couple hours, see if it gets updated and somehow magically becomes my favor. But right now, not looking good, not looking good. And if you see it the next day, it says it's going to snow or chance of snow. I'm going to go back to Mountain Forecast because I want to kind of like compare it. So like, does Mountain Forecast say it's going to snow on Saturday? Because if it doesn't, maybe I'll just go on Saturday. Mountain Forecast says it's going to snow an inch on Saturday at the base and like 2.8 inches at the summit. Okay, bad. So my weather window, today's Thursday, my weather window is Friday, which kind of tight. If something goes wrong and I'm somehow marooned on the mountain for Saturday, I will get snowed on. So again, a little demerit, something to think about. Okay, all right. The next thing and really, really important thing is to check out the avalanche forecast. Okay, it is winter in the mountains and there's snow, and whenever there's snow, there's a chance of an avalanche. Long's Peak is a very, very complicated mountain, and the Colorado Avalanche information site does usually have aspect predictions. So it says like, the westerly aspect is probably less avalanche prone than the easterly. Really hard to use that information for Long's Peak just because there's so many little nooks and crannies. What I'm worried about in Long's Peak is wind slab, persistent wind slab. So a whole bunch of snow that's been blown into an aspect, and then I have to climb on that aspect, and that aspect not being very solid, and then I fall. So let's see what it says. So right now it's only November, and they only have like the map available for me right over there. And I'm in the Front Range. That's where Long's Peak is. And it says moderate. Okay, moderate's a really dangerous forecast because most people go, oh, it's one worse than the best. So that means I can go out and not even worry about it. And that's when people get in trouble. People usually, think about it more when it's an orange considerable or red high, and 5 extreme, you shouldn't even be out there. It does say moderate. Like I said, it just doesn't have a extended forecast for the Front Range, probably because no one has seen an avalanche firsthand. So let's compare again. Let's go back to that webcam. Okay, as we see, there isn't a lot of snow on Long's Peak right now. So as long as I'm not in Keeners, which is it's this guy right here, that whole face of snow, which I'm not planning on doing. I'm just not going to find enough snow to trigger an avalanche, right? So I'm not too worried about avalanches, as long as I don't do something completely stupid. So I'm okay with that. That gets a green light for me completely. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, has anyone seen the routes I want to do on the ground? Has anyone been there? So one of the ways to check that out is go to 14ers.com, which I'll do right now, and they have a conditions report section. And you can see the mountain you want to check out and see if anyone's been there in the past couple days. So I'm at the Long's Peak conditions report, and right now the last report was 10 days ago. So they're saying no significant snow before the keyhole. Mixed conditions past keyhole, just what I expect. Home stretch is holding snow, crusty ice top layer with firm snow underneath. Okay, that's not a bad condition report. That is telling me I should bring micro spikes at the very least and crampons probably, because there's snow and there's ice. So that's fine. It is 10 days from when this was posted as a condition report, so grain of salt again, but at least I get an idea of what to expect up there. Then let's troll social media and see if we can't find any other pictures. I'm just at Instagram's tag of this location, Long's Peak. And the first ones are just the top posts, the most popular posts, usually pretty girls or really harrowing men, I guess, I don't know. Cool. And then below all that, you'll see it says most recent, which is more what I want to see. There's some guy's butt. Great. Let's go to this picture, which actually looks like it actually has snow. This looks like a throwback Thursday or something, but this one looks like it has snow. Okay. Looks very much like my webcam photo, but let's click on it and see if we can't see when this was posted. Okay, 6 days ago. It looks just like the webcam picture, so maybe it hasn't really snowed up there in 6 days, which is great. And that gives the idea that condition report from 10 days ago, maybe not so outdated. So I'm guessing that there hasn't been a lot of accumulation of snow in the past 10 days, and the condition report is fairly up to date. given the conditions. There are no precip. My predictions on what the snow conditions are going to be like is spot on. So great. I'm pretty happy with this, just checking the weather forecast and conditions. The one huge thing I'm worried about is that wind. It makes things really difficult, makes things so much colder when the wind is that strong. So I'm gonna go work some more today and think about if I really want to deal with that wind, because it's also not very pleasant. I get bragging rights, but that's about it. I just, I come home after the bike ride home from Longs Peak, and I have to be in the shower for 10 minutes to defrost. So let's see if I really want to do that pain tomorrow. We'll see. So that's it. That's just a quick rundown on how I use, the resources available to me to figure out if, the conditions and the forecast for weather is worth it to go for a Longs Peak summit. This is really especially important in those shoulder seasons, and especially winter, when conditions are super variable. In summertime, it's a lot easier, get down before thunderstorms or something like that. So hope you found this interesting. Again, I'll post the link to the article on my blog that goes through this if you don't want to just continually watch this video, and I'll post all the resources that I used in the description as well. All right, until next time.